Yeah, I'm gonna make a quick video on my new indicator I'm testing out. Um, the way I set it up was it's called a SSL, I believe. Let me go up here and check it out. This may be a long video. All right, let's see. Get drop down. Yeah, it's called SSL Hybrid. Okay. The way I set it up, I come over here. You hit your FX button. That's your indicators on TradingView.com. You search for SSL Hybrid. It brings it up right here. I start it as a favorite. It's under this Michael or whatever 00. You see there's almost 4,700 people that are using it. It's not a lot, but it's quite a bit. So anyway, you hit it one time, you click it, left click it, and that'll add it to your chart if you have enough indicators. TradingView lets you have, I think, 3 free indicators without paying for their service. I'm on the pro service because I like all the buy alerts. So, I think you can get like up to 400 buy alerts. I've deleted a bunch this morning, but several times I've maxed out 400 buy alerts. But it's a nightmare because your phone's going off 24/7. But you almost got to put it on silent to get any sleep. But, I get sidetracked. Got to take my Ritalin, I guess, to get back on track here. But so what I figured out, what I was looking at today, Jason Casper. Nothing against Mr. Casper. I like his strategy. Obviously, he trades for a living. He says he does anyway. I don't know. I know he works out like crazy, so I definitely don't want to make him mad at me. He's a big fella, But he looks for this 4-hour, buy signal on Market Cipher. I may put a Market Cipher link at the bottom if you want it. You can get it. I use it as a security blanket. I love these little green dots. I love the momentum wave. Your big green dots, your little green dots. That's it helps. It's just another buy indicator, another area of confirmation. So what I was noticing though is like you get your 4-hour buy signal. Okay, that hit at 10 o'clock on the 26th, 10 a.m. on the 26th. Okay, you got your green dot buy signal, Market Cipher. Your SSL came up, a little bit later. It was about 4 hours later. You didn't get your buy signal on it until 1400 on the 26th. But anyway, so you go to your 1 hour. What I've noticed is a lot of times, you're late to the party. You actually got, okay, that's over here on the 26th. So actually 0200, anywhere from midnight to 0200 was, a better signal. Over here was your 9 count. Ideally you want at least 9 hours, 8 to 9 hours. That was a really good one. Right about 9 a.m. I think you got the signal at 10 a.m. So this one's not a real good example on Bitcoin, but and it may work better on Bitcoin. That's why he went to it. I've just noticed on a lot of these smaller altcoins, by the time you get your 4-hour alert, a lot of times you're on a 7, 8, 9 count. You're deep in the count. I don't like taking those. I consider those more high risk. They don't work as often. A lot of times you hit your 9, then you pull back. You can get tricked into selling. Let me see if I can get this on a decent candle. Here we go. So what I'm going to try to do is I set up an alert system that alerts me when you get your first candlestick above this. I believe they call this the baseline on the SSL hybrid. Everything else is pretty much noise. All your moving averages, all the BS, it's just distraction. It's better if your daily chart is above your 200. That's my orange line. You can look at Bitcoin just crossed above it recently on a normal candlestick. I got it on Hikanashi there, but I like to look at it on a normal candlestick. And then that way you know for sure it closed above it. There's your orange line. So on the 23rd, it closed above it. I thought I had a daily alert. I don't remember getting it. It may have got buried in the alerts. Who knows? I noticed if you get a bunch of alerts that hit the same time of the day, and a lot of times end of the day, first of the new day, you will get a ton of new alerts. Anything that's closed above this 200 moving average, if you have a bunch of alerts for it, you might get 6 to 10, maybe 20 alerts all at once, and it can get buried on your phone. It just pops up a banner. And so unless you actually go to your alerts, pull them up one by one and scroll through them. I mean, these are all the ones that have hit today on my 1 hour buy signals. So I'm testing those out. Like Craft, that one's a little hard to get a hold of, but so you go to 1 hour. I don't like the fact you're below your baseline. Now, it is way oversold on an hourly basis. You got your big green dot on Market Cipher B. This is your Market Cipher B. Your A is on your top of your chart, and your B is, your A, like this red X, that's part of it. That's a big sell signal. I could go through, I could turn it all on and show you all the bells and whistles of Market Cipher. I mean, I do like it for sell signal, like this yellow X. That's a major whale manipulation. Your first, I think he said 2 to 3, maybe 4 yellow X's, especially your first 2 to 3, are usually really good sell signals. You could actually short sell this off of that yellow X. I mean, you'd have made some pretty good money, but you'd have held it. At least until it closed back above your baseline. I mean, that's a reshort probably, most likely, and it was. It went down. Your blood diamond. Here's another blood diamond, Market Cipher B, or Market Cipher A signal. Your blood diamonds are pretty good sell signal, especially at the top. If you're anywhere coming off of, a top of a movement and you get a blood diamond, that's a blood diamond with a red X, that's go time. You want to get out. I mean, it was telling you over here, red X, your SSL got your yellow sell signal, your arrow sell signal. So it timed it pretty good. I'm sure Market Cipher put out a red dot. Yeah, there it is. Right there. I mean, it missed it by an hour. Market Cipher B was an hour later. I think Market Cipher B uses a two candle confirmation. I watched that a lot. And a lot of times, like your Williams percent R right here, if I turn my arrows on, it'll show everything. Like your Williams, it gets above your oversold, which is negative 80. Right here on your 8 candle. It's on an hourly chart, but see, then you didn't get your green dot or your yellow buy signal, which is, I've noticed a lot of times these are really close. I've seen them be off by 1 candlestick. Most time you get your small green dot, you're going to have a yellow, your SSL hybrid. That's a buy signal right there on it also. So, that's double confirmation. It didn't work great. I mean, you got 2 hours out of it. Then you got your red, blood diamond. So, you definitely want to be out, especially if it closes below your baseline. You definitely want to be out of that. But so, anyway, I was testing some stuff out. I've got a test right here. The first time this gala closes above a 1 hour baseline, it should send me an alert. So I'll show you how I set that up. Let's see. So say I want to do Craft. This is Craft, whatever it is. Some kind of gaming, I guess. So we right click or double click if you're on a Mac or a tablet on your add alert. So it's going to go by default. You're on a 1 hour right here. Make sure that's right. I messed it up several times. I'll be on a 5-minute chart or something, and then want to set an alert, I'll be on the wrong time frame. So if you're on a daily or whatever, just make sure you're on the right time. And the Craft, that's your ticker symbol. And then you're crossing. You want it crossing up for a buy signal. You go to this one right here. And the best I could find was this SSL hybrid. So I click that, and that's if you've got it added to your chart. Ideally, you may not have to have it, but yeah, you will. You will have to have it, or it won't even bring it up. I don't think if it's not added to your chart. So, and this right here, candle size. I don't really know. I haven't tested some of these. Your exit arrows and buy arrows. I've tested those and they didn't work too good. SSL1, SSL2, I don't really know what that is. That may be your baseline, your bottom or top, your smaller lines instead of your big, your big line, your thick line right there. I'm guessing that's your baseline. So I put the MA baseline on it. So you got baseline upper, baseline lower. I mean, you could definitely do that. You could select either of those. I'm just doing your baseline moving average. I'm guessing that's your big, thick middle line. I'm guessing. And I want this once per bar close. That way it's not going. I mean, you can do it once per minute, but then it's going to go off every minute that it's above that for an hour. So you don't want that 60 alerts going off. So I just do it once per bar close. So when this hour is up, so it's 4:50 right now. So if it was above it right now, just crossed above it. At 5 o'clock when the candlestick closes, it would send me an alert to my phone, and you can do it email or pop up on your laptop, notify on the app on your phone. You can set up play sounds or send email to SMS. Either way, and if you want to, you can read. I like to, instead of having all this mess you got to read every time you get an alert. I like just highlight it all, zero out, and just put something simple like 1 hour SSL base by signal, something like that on craft. So we'll test it on that one too. We could do several tests on it. And just see what's working, what's not. One quick way, if I want to just go through and set a bunch of, alerts on everything in my watch list, like I just did this today on my 1 hour. I got rid of all my 4 hour buy alerts and I switched them all to a 1 hour so I can get in a little earlier. Sometimes I might get whipsawed, I might get head faked. I've noticed like if you set it on like a 20 or 30 minute, 24 minute, any of your lower time frames, your phone's going to be blowing up 1,000 times a day. So I'm probably going to go in and close all these out. I may have already closed them out, just because I just got tired of getting them, all day long. It's just too much to manage. It's overwhelming. It stresses you out, So I don't need any more stress than what I've already got. But so I think the 1 hour time frame. If you want to do the 4 hour, you can, but just know to reference. Check your 1 hour. Check your 24 minute before you dive in. I've even started checking my 12 minute, 5 minute, just to try to time it just a little bit better. You might get 4 or 5 cents cheaper, a little better price, whatever. But if you notice where it crossed back above your baseline right here on your one count, that for me, that's the buy. I mean, yeah, you got the buy signal over here, but if you're sitting there watching a price action, I mean, you got red candle, you had to sweat it out for 4 hours before you ever got any volume. I don't really know how this thing calculates that, but I wish I knew how to calculate it. It'd be easier to set alerts on it. But so anyway, but I think your first candle that has a green number 1 on it, if you have this TD sequential, little script on it, I think that's your money maker. I mean, yeah, it only went to a 5, went up 5 hours. But for scalping, for day trades, and you could do this on a daily, you could do it on any time frame. I mean, you could do it, switch it to a day. Not going to work as good. Well, I don't have enough data on this one. Let me go to Bitcoin or something that you actually have some data on it. Right here. I mean, here's a perfect example. Your first, your baseline turns blue if you set it up that way on your settings. I believe it may be by default. I'm not sure. Um, so that's going to turn blue when everything's looking really good, and you close for the first day. You're on a daily format, daily chart. Your first candlestick above it, that should be that bright, blue, electric blue, whatever that is. That's your go signal. I think you could just buy that end of the day if you wanted to. What, 6, 7 o'clock Central Time? I think we're rolling over, new days now. Since time changed, I think it was 7. Now I believe it's 6 or 5. I'm not sure. You just have to watch the day time frame. When it changes your candlestick. There's a way to tell. I put it on a 1 hour a while ago and it didn't work because I'm on Chicago time. But see, like yesterday was the 26th. So now it's doing 2300 at midnight, and that's not the way. Unless they changed it, crypto used to roll over a new day at 6, 7 o'clock. You can watch your daily, put it on a day chart. Check it around 5, 6 o'clock. I think that's when it starts a new day. Anyway, so it's not very important, but it's still 5, 6 hours. You could get a 5, 6 hour better price. So I'm thinking that as soon as it gets above your baseline on your SSL hybrid, you get a blue candle. If it's green on your count, it's go time. Sit in that thing till your exit signals. It depends on your time frame, how long you want to hold it. If you're thinking long term, 6 months to a year, even 90 days, a month, 2 or 3 weeks. I would probably say, if it gets back below the 200-day moving average, which is going to test it, most likely. You take it off Heikin-Nashi, it probably already has. Let's see. My 21 days, this red line right here, it turns green once everything's super bullish. A lot of times it's late to the party. That's another market cipher A indication. That is my number 5, whatever it is, setting. And it literally turns from red to green when everything starts looking really bullish. But I have seen a lot of times, it waits till, you missed pretty good. Here, like it went from red to green right here. It wasn't bad. You missed 4 or 5 days, Went green. As long as it's green, I guess you stay in. When it turns red, you could sell. You missed the top pretty bad. You'd been a lot better over here. Sell your 9 count or a day or two after. Definitely you start, testing your power band here, or your baseline band. I call it baseline, or power band or whatever. You close below that, I think that's go time. Definitely get out. You retested it, but then you close day 2 again on it. That's not good. Obviously it went sideways for a while. Retested again, went up 3 or 4 days, 2 or 3 days, closed back below it again. That's weakness, especially with big volume. You had a big volume candle down here. That's pretty much go time. I don't know what time frame. November 10th. Yeah, he's on a new moon cycle around the 4th. Where was the 4th at? We on a daily. Yeah, the 4th. 3, 4. Yeah, the 4th was a pretty bad day. Went down 2.3%. So yeah, that I think that's pretty good. I'll probably just wait. Maybe you could just stay in it. It's going to zigzag. Nothing's going to go up in a straight line. You're going to get your little up downs. It'd be better to wait for a little small correction. Probably test the 200-day moving average. This 10 or 21, 200. They're pretty much all together right here. I can zoom in and you can tell you got your red on top of your 200. There's a LYM 1 hour buy signal just popped up. Let's take a look at that while we're at it. Might as well. So it should go automatically to a 1 hour. Sometimes it doesn't. Make sure it switches to your hour format if that's your buy signal. On a laptop, you can click this. And I've seen on a cell phone it'll work sometimes too, but sometimes it don't. So you just got to make sure you get your time frame right. So obviously, I set this up on market cipher B. So we've got a green dot. This hour candle just closed on 5 o'clock. See, it started at 4, ended at 5 on a 1 hour chart. Here again, you've already hit your 9 count. So I don't like taking these setups. I mean, yeah, it could continue. It could go to another 9. There's another JUV. You can see your momentum is curving. It's fish hook, what they call fish hooking. Making a little fish hook. I mean, it's probably going to keep going up, most likely. It's on an hourly time frame. I mean, it's not like, look at a daily. I mean, this thing's beat up. Nearly everything's beat up, over the last, 2 weeks. Where could it go? It could probably go back to the highs, I would think. Probably somewhere around 2 cents. That's off USDT pair. Yeah, around 2 cents. I mean, it's around a penny? There's 100% growth. If my math is right, I'm pretty sure it is. Now you are below your 200 day, so that's weakness. That is one buy signal that I watched a video on this SSL hybrid. Ideally, you want your price action to be above the daily, before you take these buy signals. You don't have to. See, like over here, you got a buy signal. It didn't really work. You still went down, made a 9 count, went sideways. You got your first strong candlestick. You could have bought there. End of the day, looked like a genius for 2 days. Now it pulled back. That's not great price action. I mean, your volumes, deteriorating off of your sell days. So at least that's a good signal. But I mean, this could come back and retest, your baseline, till it turns and you get, confirmation this is on its way up, which most likely it is. I mean, but I mean, it could very easily give you a head fake and then just roll right back over and head back down. So that's one reason I don't like taking buy signals on market cipher B. I've seen a lot of them work, but see, you got your green dot right here. You're already near your overbought. Once it gets above your 60 line right here, your price action and your momentum, you're getting into the overbought territory. And you get a green dot buy signal up here. It's a low percentage shot. I mean, it's like shooting an NBA 3-pointer or maybe shooting from half court. I mean, yeah, you might make it, but the chances of you making decent money are less likely. So I prefer the ones down here where you're oversold, getting close to your 60 line, negative 60, down here you're oversold. You've already had a lot of sell-off. Your people took profits. Ideally, your perfect setup is to get your anchor wave green dot, and then you get your trigger wave right here. On your second little small green dot, ideally that's what I've heard is your best buy signal. You can buy this one, but a lot of times you'll get a head fake. You'll dip back down, another sell-off, and then this one right here is usually your best. See, you can see how your dots are trailing down here. That's negative momentum. That's bearish divergence, what they call. So that's a bearish indicator. Your dots are getting lower and lower and lower. You're getting more and more sells. So until that reverses, then you won't know that until you get your next sell-off. If it's a higher low, if it dips down right here and starts back up, that would be an ideal setup. That'd be a really buy signal. But right now, I probably wouldn't take this because your green dots are getting lower and lower. That's more selling pressure. It has hit the 60, negative 60, so the move could be over. It could be your selling pressure. But anyway, that's what I've noticed. You can kind of play with it, get your own system. Try to learn. Take notes, see what works, see what don't. I'm terrible at taking notes. I mean, I don't know how many times I've set up 4-hour buy signals over here in the last probably 60 days. Uh, you know, I'll go through, I'll set them up, I'll delete them, then I'll forget, that it didn't work all that great. I mean, it does work. I don't know what percentage that it works, but for somebody like me that has to work a day job, it's not that great. Because I need a buy signal that's going to let me buy something, and you get 8-9 hours of hopefully up price action. Like right now, I don't like taking anything off a 9 count, especially 3 to 4 bars past a 9. I think you're buying the top most likely. I mean, yeah, you've got a continuation count, this 8 count right here. That's what they call a continuation. This could go to a 13. I could go to a 13, then hit another 9. I mean, it could totally, retrace and go back to the previous highs if it wants to. But it just depends on, the coin. Depends on how, the following it has. That one right there is a secondary coin off of a game. I can't remember exactly which one it was, but so I'm kind of testing. It's kind of like SLP off of Axie Infinity. It's their secondary coin that they pay their game players with. So it has a high amount of sell pressure on it already. So, I'm kind of testing those, just see what they do. But for the most part, I don't know. I probably won't play it because, number one, it's below your 200-day moving average. I mean, you can pull a weekly on it, see the highest it's ever been. But, man, that thing sold off big time off the high. I mean, it hit 10 cents back here in March. Had a pretty bad summer, like everything else, but it never did really regain. See, it just flatlined. A lot of sell pressure. You had a couple good weeks right here. This on a weekly chart. So, it started, definitely right here, October 25th. You had a nice, 3 to 4 weeks out of it till about the middle of November, November 22nd. And then it just fell off a cliff again. I'm guessing somewhere around December, 1st of December maybe. Yeah, that'd be November 29th week. So yeah, and you get your sell signal on a weekly basis. That's really bad. I wouldn't touch that until I get a buy signal on a weekly basis probably. I have noticed a lot of stuff isn't working on day trading lately, and I think it's because 90% of your coins, now EOS is a bad example. It's on a sell signal, but take like, I don't know, a Lou. Some of these don't have enough data yet. They hadn't been on the index or whatever. You take Bitcoin weekly basis. Now it's got a crossover on your momentum right here, so that could be a pretty good bottom indication. I don't know exactly where it's gonna take off. I mean, it stayed strong though. It stayed above your 21-week moving average. I mean, that's pretty strong. Stayed mostly above your 10. This yellow line's my 10 weekly on a weekly chart. That'd be 10 weeks exponential moving average. That's what that is. I believe I got it set up on an EMA. A lot of times you get a bunch of indicators. You do your drop down. You don't see them all. You got to just go to this little box here and click it where it only shows your candlesticks. And then, yeah, it's on a 10 EMA, right, what I've got it set on. And then I was going to show you my indicators I do on SSL. So the inputs, I turned a lot of stuff off. I turned this off, the SSL1. What else did I turn off? This modular fit only, it's off. I believe it was the SSL1. There was something that like really clutters the chart. I forget what it was. I'm not really seeing it on that, but like I said, some of these don't have enough data. The style, now here it is. Here, I turned a lot of this stuff off. Candle size, see, I don't even have that selected. It's one of these SSLs, I think. SSL2, I think. You want to see it? It puts your dots. It's a parsar indicator. If you don't know what it is, just Google it. PARSAR, I think. So it gets all your dots. It's just messy. It's, you know, the least amount of noise you got on your chart, I think the better. The background, you know, I just did normal, I think, or whatever. But visibility, that's on your time frames. I didn't mess with any of that, but so that's how I set mine up. If you want to, you know, if you want to leave everything on, you can. But I think it's just a mess, you know, with everything on. It was just really distracting. So, and then, you know, the second part of it, which I think if you just do your baseline, I really don't think you need it. Even though I guess you don't have enough data for your baseline on this on a weekly basis. I'm not sure why. Maybe it doesn't work on a weekly, or I turned it off. No, it's still on. Yeah, I guess we don't have enough data. Yeah, okay. Well, so that doesn't work really good on a weekly for the most part because you're not going to have enough data. I don't know how many uh, you got it for Bitcoin. Of course, Bitcoin's been around, you know, chartable for a long time, but so you got to be careful on that. Sometimes you don't have enough data. If you don't, you just switch to something else like Williams or, you know, your moving averages. You know, like you use a 10 or a 21 moving average, you know, on a weekly. You know, like RE doesn't even have enough. Your 10 week just barely started showing up. If you're below your 10 week, you know, you're definitely pretty weak, you know, in my opinion, on a weekly basis. AOS, you just started getting, this is on KuCoin, Heikin-Ashi based. So you haven't, your RSI stochastic hasn't crossed over yet. Momentum wise, you still got a sell signal. You got a nice green bar started. Ideally, that needs to turn blue, that bright electric blue. But so the bluer the better, I think. And this Williams is starting to tick up. But I mean, this is Monday, so it's your first day of the week. So you know that this weekly candle needs to close out on a Sunday. You know, if it closes strong this week, you know, you might definitely put it on a watch list, or, you know, start looking for lower time frames where, you know, everything starts looking better. But ideally, I would like to see one of these yellow, you know, buy signals on a weekly basis on most indicators. Your Williams will give you one of the first. It's called Williams percent R. Percent R set on a 14 by default. I may change that to a 13, but so when this, usually it'll get oversold. It'll go below your negative 80, like it did over here. Went to minus 84, almost minus 85. When it crosses back above that, that's usually a decent buy signal. You see it over here on your 6 was your low count, and then your 1 bar, it closed above it that week. That would have been a nice, you know, 2 or 3 weeks, 4 weeks buy signal out of it. You know, and you can take it, you know, you get halfway through the week, 3/4 through the week, and you get on a, you know, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you've still got the green, you know, the yellow buy signal, you know, on a weekly basis. I mean, you might go a little early. You don't have to wait till Sunday to buy it, or Monday or whatever. They call that confirmation. If you wait until the candlestick time frame officially closes and you start your new candle. You know, it's a strategy, a theory. You know, that's what I do. So I try to do it. You know, especially on lower time frames, hourly. 30-minute, 24-minute, 4 hour. It's your daily just it's really looking nice and bullish on EOS. That could definitely be a good buy signal. Let me take all this off. Zoom in a little. See, it's closing above your power band or your baseline band on all time frames. Make sure it's on your regular candlestick also. Yeah, definitely. Actually, it was above it yesterday on a normal candlestick. Your Heikin-Nashi, I think it smooths your trend out. So sometimes you will be a day late, or a one candlestick late on your time frame on Heikin-Nashi. But I've just noticed you don't get whipsawed as much, where it gives you a head fake and then it comes right back down. That's the most annoying thing, where you can be right on your price action and still lose money because you got whipsawed and you got head faked, and then they shake you out, scare you into selling. And if you're a buy and hold, none of this matters. You just buy it and close your eyes and don't look at a chart. That's the easiest way. Dollar cost average, buy every Wednesday or something like George does at a certain time frame, and just close your eyes and bite your tongue, swallow the blood, put your head in the sand, and just buy it. I don't. That's probably the easiest way. It's definitely least stress, I guess. Least amount of work anyway. But I like knowing what I'm buying. I like keeping my eye on my money. I like watching the charts. I like technical analysis. I'm not gonna lie. It's fun for me. It's a hobby. So I just like learning it, trying to get a little bit of an advantage, on my timing, or I probably get whipsawed out too much, on my sell signals. I take profits a lot on the 9 count on this TD sequential. I probably miss a lot of profit because you miss these 2 or 3 bars. I could have, but you're never going to sell the exact top. So, you just got to take what you can get, take what the market gives you, just move on, go on to the next one. That's what I finally, come to terms with. If you're a perfectionist, it's going to drive you nuts if you think, man, I could have got that, shoulda, woulda, coulda game. It'll drive you insane because you see the top, you think, well, if I'd have held it, if I'd have sold it here, I could have got this, $1.19 or almost $1.18. But nobody got that. Probably 2 people got that, and one of them was the market maker. So unless you're super genius, and you're going to need a lot better indicators than any of these free stuff, to be able to time stuff to the penny. It's almost impossible. So, I've learned to just not beat myself up. If you make money, if you make $1, you're a winner. If you just don't lose, you break even, you're a winner in this game. For that part. Because most people are losing money, especially the last couple of weeks. I know I have. But my first mentor, some of the things he said stuck with me. He said, if you'll trade like a castrated choir boy, pardon my French, but he said, most people, they hold on to their losers too long, and they don't let their winners run long enough. That's why most people lose money on an average yearly basis. Over 90%. Over 90% of day traders lose money every single year. It's a hard game to beat, but, you can time it, with, I've got some Larry Williams, sweet spot of the month timing indicators, or, data. You can pick the best time of the month, to trade, and your odds have, exponentially increased of being successful. But, now will you make as much money? Probably not. If you just bought it and hold it, if you'd bought this and held it, if you'd bought it on the day one and held it, you've got 4 or 5 days of pretty much up. Not huge. It looks like it closed what? Let me get to a regular candlestick so I can actually tell. Okay, so it closed at 54, pretty much 55 cents. You're at 60 cents now. So, all right, you're at 5 cents a coin. That's not anything to, get a trophy for or nothing. But, if you got, 10 grand in it or something, you're buying a huge amount of coins or whatever, shares or whatever you're buying, You know, that makes a difference on your shorter time frames. But like I said, I've just noticed, you know, normally you get a 1 day buy signal. Usually you get some movement, but here lately everything's just been going sideways. I don't know if it's manipulation, you know, from the banks, the hedge funds, you know, it may just be too much selling pressure. It may just be too much fear in the market. I don't know. I think this weekly time frame is having a lot to do with it. Until you get on a weekly, you know, confirmed buy signal, which ideally I want it above your 21 moving average, and I want it above this 10 also. If I don't have my power band, whatever you call it, baseline band off that SL hybrid, SSL. So, you know, that's another way. But I was going to show you how I set up my, like I said, if you're doing a bunch of them, you're doing like your whole portfolio. So I'll go to, say you go to number one, go to AIOZ, go to daily basis. I pull up my market cipher B. If you want to, you can test it out for free. You can go over here, type in, I think it's just market cipher. Yeah, here we go. So market cipher A and B are free if you want to test them out from Falcon Coin, whatever. There's almost 5,000 people using the free version. If you get the real version, they'll send it to your invite only scripts. You know, there's different ones, but so if you pay for it, you can get access to all these. You know, but there are free, you know, there's free versions of it. The only difference is you don't get the money flow line. I've got mine set up as a single line. It's a green or red. When it goes below your 0, it turns red. And the money flow is really nice. I don't know how he calculates it. It's different than like checking money flow. You can get checking money flow for free. I mean, it pretty much does the same thing, but it's calculated different. I don't know if he smooths it or puts it on moving average, or but his does seem to work a little better. I think it gives you a more true, you know, money flow. I think so. So you're looking for this green dot, more or less. These are your buy signals. Your trigger green dot buy signal. Your trigger waves. You know, you had your anchor wave here. There's a good trigger. These are higher, so that's a good. You can draw a trend line from this one to these three, and that's up. You know, pretty much up to the right. So you're in an uptrend, obviously, on a daily basis on AOS. I guess that's how you say that, AIOZ, whatever it is. I just abbreviate a lot of times, but so you're looking for this green dot buy signal. So what I do, I'll right click or double click, you know, depending on whatever you're on. You're adding a. Why am I not getting? All right, let's try it up here then. Why am I not getting add alert? That's weird. All right, well, let's try it on a different one. Go over here. I'm not getting it. That's weird. There's really, maybe because I'm recording. I don't know. I don't have all my alerts used. I only got 83. So anyway, well, I guess it's not going to let me show you how to do it. But pretty much same concept. You click on add on alert, market cipher B. And then I do, you know, at the close of the day or close of the candlestick, and then I'll select the market cipher, and it'll say green dot or red dot. By default, it's red dot, and you want a green dot. Let's see, add indicator strategy, but usually it lets me highlight add alert on market cipher B, but that's weird. It's not letting me do it. Maybe it's because I'm recording. I don't know. So, kind of the same concept that you'd use on pretty much any indicator. You just just let me do it on stochastic, but not on that. So, you know, right here be your line for market cipher B, You click it and it'll say red or green. You select green dot, or you could do big green dot or small green dot. I do small green dot. Just pretend that's what it says there. I do once per bar close, and I come down here and I rename it. I'll do 1 day buy signal, market cipher or something, so I know what indicator's telling me, that it's ready. And then you just hit create, and as long as you have available alerts, within your paid subscription rate or whatever, it should let you. The reason I went to Pro also is because I can select open-ended and they never expire. If you're on the free thing, I believe you can only do an alert for like 20 or 30 days, something like that, 15 days maybe. So it's a pain. Then you got to go back in and refresh it and recreate it or whatever. They entice you to do the paid subscription. I mean, they're obviously they need to make some money too. I mean, it's an awesome service I think that TradingView provides, especially for crypto. I mean, it's even just for stocks. I mean, it's awesome for like I used it for I think 2 years. Didn't even know how to use the alert system. You can hit this little plus bar right here. And usually that does the add alert. For whatever. Might be able to do it like that. Some way you could go to add alert, and it'll show up like on your cell phone. This is what it does. It goes to your alerts. You got to go find it. You got to hit your triple dot thing right here in your phone, and then go to your alerts. Then go to this, and you got to hit edit, and you hit alert crossing, or you could do. No, it's not letting me do. Let's see if it'll let me do market cipher here. Nope, it's not. I don't see it there either. He may have some kind of program where if you're recording, he won't let you record it. That's weird. I've never seen it do that before. But I may have to do it with my cell phone or something to, whatever. Figure out how to show people how to do it. But I'll figure it out. Anyway, so that's pretty much what I do. If I'm doing my whole watch list, I just go through and do those, alphabetically and one at a time. It takes forever. I mean, especially if you got, I think I've got like 70 coins here that I'm watching. Mostly gaming. I'm in my high stakes. This is my Alex Becker gaming portfolio list, and I've added some ZK roll-ups. I've added some of my favorites. Solana. I've added Matic. I've added Floki. I've added, what else? I've added the Cadena. Some really high risk stuff that I'll probably never even buy. The King, Kilt. Yeah, I might buy Kilt during the bear market. It could be a game changer. Definitely want to buy Render during the bear market. This QRDO, I'll definitely be buying it long term. Super probably, I'll be buying Super. I would never bet against LEO. I mean, the guy's he just seems really smart to me. I mean, seems genuine too. I think he genuinely wants to help people, make money. And I think Rand and Sheldon do too on Crypto Banter. I wish they would, give you sell alerts. But I get why they don't. It's because they don't want to crash the coins. They don't want to crash the market. If they start telling you to sell everything, take profits. They have so many subscribers that that's over 1 million. I mean, it could be 2 or 3 million people start selling all at once. I mean, that's enough to crash any market. I mean, you could literally crash the stock market with that many people probably. Or that much, that much capital, that much money. I'm gonna end this video. It's getting long. I'm getting a little winded, so I'll just leave it at that. I'll play with it. If you want to, you can add this bottom indicator too. I've sent a few people the video, but it's QQEMOD is the name of it, and the buy signal is when the histogram turns that bright blue above your zero. Now you could, you get a buy signal before that, or but you're pretty much on your zero line right here where you don't have any red ones. It'll turn gray sometimes. Like it over here, it turned gray. You know, you start seeing your histogram start getting lower and lower. That's usually a pretty good red flag saying time to get out. But you probably already got your cell signal before that, or pretty close to around in here. You know, probably 2 bars coming down. I'm guessing you got your cell signal November 9th. But you know, definitely when you hit here, I mean that's your short cell signal right there and right there. Over here be your buy signal. Now you could buy this one. You don't get nothing. Or you can buy this gray one. Or you can buy that one if you want to take a little more risk. But I guess the less risk is when it turns bright blue above your zero. You know, your bars are getting lower and lower. They're getting higher and higher, I guess, coming off your oversold. That's a really good sign. Your line here is retracing. You know, it's going up. That's a good sign. I mean, you could probably take this any time frame, but let's see how it played out on the chart. Yeah, so you got a buy signal here. It was a little early. Kind of went sideways, started trailing up, but you didn't actually get your first candlestick until right here that closed above your baseline. And that would have been a nice buy signal. Looked like on the 1 count. Worked really good. You didn't get your arrow until the next day, your next candlestick. And that's on regular candlesticks. You can do Heikin-Ashi or regular. I like the Heikin-Ashi. Like, see, you didn't even get one over here on Heikin-Ashi though. So I may switch back, you know, just off of that. Just, you know, it's just another security blanket, just another confirmation tool. You know, if you see that, now after I get in, definitely after I buy something, I'm definitely switching to Heikin-Ashi because it smooths out your trend where all the candlesticks stay the same color. You know, I mean, once you get your first red one, that's a pretty easy sell. Definitely you get your yellow sell signal, which won't be yellow unless you change it. I did have to change that also. You go to your settings. I think your style maybe. Up arrow. Yeah, here we go. Exit arrows. So you made both of them yellow on the video I watched, so they'll stand out. I think by default, up is green, down is red. You can leave them that way if you want, but I just like them because they stand out. Kind of cover up my number count on my candlesticks sometimes, but you know, you can kind of zoom in to, you know, get it or whatever. But that's pretty much what I'm going to start doing. I think I may definitely start setting up my buy signals. You know, try to test it. You know, on Heikin-Ashi or regular candlestick on a daily basis. I do like that, you know, we got an extra buy signal. Or was I on a different chart? I don't know. Anyway, I'm getting delirious. I better quit. All right, catch y'all later.